My throat's so sore from yelling all night.
Why were you yelling all night?
Well, there was this girl and, you don't need to know.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to know. But you know, if you eat like a spoonful of honey or like a cucumber, it'll help relieve your throat.
I think we have some pickles. Is that the same thing?
No. Whoa, dude, you look like stressed out. Are you good? What? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Ew, okay. Well, let's just say that you were. A good pressure point to get rid of tension and stress is by rubbing the webbing in your hand right here. I'm not stressed! You know what? Fine, okay. Yeah, and then this girl called me I can't remember what she said. Ooh, okay, try squeezing your fist. For some reason, this improves brain activity and it'll help you remember the word. Oh yeah, she called me a pompous douche canoe. When I was in middle school, I like to try to find ways to make some money because I didn't have money and I wanted money and I probably watched like a little bit too much Ed, and Eddie. So like I ran scams basically. By far my favorite one is when I scammed the school by selling fake dance wristbands. There was a school dance, school would sell wristbands, everybody would get one, you put it on your wrist when you're walking through the door. That way the teachers see that you bought a ticket and they'd let you in. When a dance was coming up, I would figure out what color the wristbands were because they'd sometimes be blue or red. Like for Valentine's Day, they were all white with little hearts on them. And then I'd go grab my art supplies, make these really nice fake wristbands, and if the school was selling them for $5, I'd sell them for $4. I did this for the 2 years I was at this middle school and I never got caught and I got into all the dances for free. Tell me you were a problem child without saying you were a problem child. If you're ever being chased by an animal, all you gotta do is lay on the ground for 5 seconds. That way the 5-second rule kicks in and prevents the animal from eating you. So a lot of people go to the gym and lift these big weights. Okay, but what I've learned is that these smaller weights are much lighter and easier to lift. When you go to therapy, ask your therapist who their therapist was and then go see them. And then ask them the same thing until you find the final boss therapist who can hopefully fix your train wreck of a life. There is literally no law that says you can't put your friends down as your references and pretend that they were your boss at your old job. There's nothing that says you can't do that. If you're applying for a job or like a school or something, just say that you were Time's 2006 Person of the Year, because in 2006, Time made everybody Person of the Year. If you ever mess up in front of a customer, just be like, sorry, it's my first day, or sorry, I'm still in training, no matter how long you've worked there, because I promise you, they're gonna go easier on you.
I want my hair to be like Maddie's.
Right now? Because I don't want it to burn you, okay?
So don't move.
That's how it's gonna make it work.
The first curl of many. Cruz, do you want to dye your hair too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. If only we had some bleach. Wait, you have bleach in your car. We can dye Cruz's hair.
Let's not.
She said I could have my hair bleached.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Can you call Mom, Bella?
I mean, you did bleach your hair.
I don't think Mom.
Now fluffing it up a little. Why, my guy? Do you like it?
Yeah, turns out that was a bad idea.
Burn.
Wow, thank you so much.
Use an ice cube to get gum out of the hair, okay? Because it hardens it up and makes it easier to get out. If you're worried about whether or not your breath stinks, what you have to do is lick your wrist and then smell it. Because that's what it smells like to everybody else around you. If you're trying to call out from work and you want to sound sick, what you have to do is hang your head off the bed, that way you sound more congested on the phone. If you're ever watching a show and you like the outfit of a character, what you can do is go to this website called Worn on TV and find exactly what they're wearing. See, like I really like Spencer's shirt in this episode, so I went to the website and there it is at Nordstrom for $93. Fuck that shit. When you go to college, please don't be the dummy that buys the textbook that you're never going to use again at full price. When I was in school, I used this website called Slugbooks, where all you have to do is type in the ISBN of your book and it'll actually compare the prices of all these different websites. So it used to be $220, but you can get it for $100 or you can rent it for like $70, which is awesome. If you're not sure what to cook for dinner, there's this website called Supercook where you can enter every food you have in the fridge and it'll tell you what meals you can make with it. You might not see much here, but what the website sees is a vodka Red Bull with some pineapple. Make sure that you marry somebody that you only kinda like. That way, if you get a divorce, it's not that bad. If you really want to piss somebody off, when you're introducing them to somebody else, use little air quotes when announcing what their job is. Yeah, I want you to meet my friend, okay? This is Todd, he's great, he's an accountant, and he likes long walks on the beach. If you have really strict parents, you need to start rebelling early, okay? Set those expectations low, or else you're gonna be 20 years old asking your mom if you can dye your hair. I'm about to ruin everyone's day right now. You know when you go into a public bathroom and you see one of these motherfuckers? These hand drying things? They are bullshit. When you dry your hands with a paper towel, you reduce the bacteria on them by 45 to 60%. When you use the fucking wind machine, the bacteria on your hands increases by 255%. You shouldn't have even washed your hands at that point. Dude, are we out of cough syrup? I threw it away because pineapple juice is way more effective and it can clear the bacteria in your throat. Hey, I can't sleep. Did you try the breathing exercises I showed you? See, I would, but I forgot what it was. Okay, so what you have to do is inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 7 seconds, and then exhale for 8 seconds, and that should help you fall asleep. Hey, guess what?
You're being too loud. I have a headache.
Oh shoot, my bad. But I have the perfect thing for you, okay? Stick your feet in this bowl of semi-hot water.
I'm not doing that.
Put your feet in the semi-hot water now. Alright. Why? If you sell drugs, get an Uber or a Lyft sign for your car. That way you don't look as shady with people getting in and out of it all the time. If you're getting married, make sure that you send a wedding invite to every billionaire or rich person whose contact information you can find, because there's about a 50-50 chance that their assistant's just gonna send you guys a gift without ever wondering who the fuck you are. If you ever find yourself in the position where you're homeless, you should try to get a gym membership. That way you have a place to go and shower and an excuse to go to the gym. You'll get jacked as fuck and you can just beat up your old landlord. Make sure you go check out my YouTube channel. Some of you parents out there need to start making your kids help out around the house, because I am tired of meeting people my own goddamn age that are just amazed that I know how to do my own laundry or clean a fucking toilet. By age 2 or 3, they should be able to help with just like basic stuff, like cleaning up their toys or setting the table or putting their dish in the sink after eating. By age 4 or 5, there shouldn't be too much responsibility, but they should be able to clean their own room and help a little bit around the kitchen. Around 6 to 9, this is when they can start helping around the house, you know, like sweeping the floors, washing their own dishes, or folding and putting away laundry. By 10 to 12, this is when I learned how to mow a lawn, do my own laundry, and by that time I was making like really easy meals for the family. By age 13 and up, this kid should be a little bit more self-sufficient, being able to take care of themselves and take care of their surroundings. But hey, you do what you want with your own kid. I might have just grew up a little bit too fast, you know, being the oldest and then being in foster care. But to be fair, I did move out at 18 and was able to take care of myself. These fun facts aren't really that fun. Most dentures in the 1800s were made out of the teeth of dead soldiers. There's a part of Mount Everest called Rainbow Valley, and it's named that because of all the colorful coats of the dead people scattered around. In 1933, Dr. Carl Tanzler raided the tomb of a female patient that he was obsessed with, stole her body, and then lived with the corpse for 7 years! Like, this body was literally falling apart and he had to try and keep it together with like coat hangers and shit, and the only reason he was caught was because somebody saw him through an open window dancing with it.
My daily routine with ADHD. Wake up. Do fucking nothing for 5 hours. Panic. Do stuff in a panic for 1 to 2 hours. Hyperfixate on one thing for 4 hours. Make sure it's the wrong thing. Let the existential dread set in. Make a pact with myself to break out of this pattern tomorrow.
You have to get everything done, man.
Repeat pattern tomorrow.
Sometimes I like to tell unfunny jokes on purpose just to see who's gonna laugh. That way I can tell who has a crush on me. If somebody's ever like, hey, we need to talk, you need to be like, yeah, we do. That way, you're both stressed out. If you upload all your photos on Tinder upside down, the person's gonna have to flip their phone around to see you and realize that you're fucking ugly. So they're gonna swipe left, but actually they're gonna swipe right and you just got a match. Hey, so I love interacting with you guys, okay? But with how big my platform is, it's really hard to respond to every comment or every DM that I get. So I thought it'd be cool to make a big group chat with the app IRL that everybody's invited to. Every single one of you guys can join this. We can literally talk about anything, okay? But if you're gay or into video games and movies, that's probably what I'm gonna be talking about the most because that's what I'm into. But yeah, it's linked in my bio, so click to join, and I cannot wait to start like meeting and talking to you guys. I can't swallow pills. I can't do it. You know, if you take your left hand and then squeeze your thumb in your fist, it'll actually suppress your gag reflex. Is this why you have a boyfriend and I don't? And then this dude just was trying to pretend that he didn't even know what a bagel was. Do you have the hiccups? No, I'm doing this for shits and giggles. You know, you can get rid of those by sticking your fingers in your ears because it stimulates the vagus nerve and resets your diaphragm. What? I am just not feeling my hair right now. Like, is that dandruff? You know, if you put a little bit of vodka in your shampoo bottle, it'll get rid of dandruff, make your hair stronger, shinier, and grow faster. All I heard was vodka. If your car's ever overheating, you either need to 1, turn it off, or 2, if you can't do that, turn your heat on full blast. The cab will pull the heat from the engine, thus cooling it off. 10minuteemail.com gives you a fake email address so you don't have to use your personal one when signing up for things. If you're like me and you have trouble lighting candles because your hands are too big, what you need to do is light a piece of spaghetti, because then you'll be able to reach it. Did you know that people with blue eyes and people with brown eyes actually see differently? If you have blue eyes, you have much less melanin compared to those with brown eyes, which just means that more light is able to pass through, so you're more sensitive to it. Like, my eyes are blue, and for me personally, I can't even really go outside without wearing a pair of sunglasses because it's just too bright. But this also means that I have better night vision than somebody with brown eyes because all the melanin acts as natural sunglasses. Like, this is what brown eyes see at night versus blue eyes, and then blue eyes, brown eyes during the day. I don't know if you guys have picked up on it yet, but I really like space. So here are some cool space things that I found because, you know, space is cool as fuck. So this is a composite photo of the moon, and that reddish color is actually the moon's iron rusting. But scientists don't really know how the moon even has rust because the moon doesn't have water or oxygen. This is a photo of a massive eruption on the sun, and that little loop right there, that thing can fit 2 whole Earths inside of it. Last year's SpaceX's Falcon 9 launch caused a twilight phenomenon, and this happens when the exhaust particles from a missile or rocket condense, freeze, and then expand in the upper atmosphere. If you have a pimple, one thing you can do is put a little bit of honey on it, cover it with a Band-Aid overnight, and by the time you wake up, it'll be gone and it won't leave a scar. If after you run the dishwasher, your dishes still come out wet, one thing you can do is right when it's done, take a dry towel, hang it over the edge, and then just gently close it. In about 30 minutes, they'll all be dry. So if you ever get a bruise that you kind of just want to go away, one thing that you can do is apply pressure to it and then rub in a clockwise motion. This will activate and speed up the lymphatic process and your body will just naturally get rid of it. I mean this in the nicest way possible, okay? Nobody notices you as much as you think. Everybody's in their own little world, so try not to care as much. But that being said, if you do something embarrassing in public, just say you lost a bet. My golden rule for spending money is if I can't afford to buy it twice, then I can't afford it at all. If you want to work on being more confident, make a conscious effort to talk to 3 people every single day. Even if it's as simple as like, oh, hey, I like your shoes, or asking if they did the homework. You'll notice over time, you're a lot more comfortable just talking to new people. It came out today that Senate Democrats are working on legalizing marijuana. So in honor of that, here's some weed facts. The first thing that was ever sold on the internet was a bag of weed in 1972. Okay, before Amazon, before eBay, a bunch of Stanford students bought an undisclosed amount of devil's lettuce from a bunch of MIT students. In Denver, Colorado, there are more marijuana dispensaries than Starbucks locations, and I think that deserves an award. According to urban legend, when Cameron Diaz was in high school, she bought some weed off of her classmate. That classmate was Snoop Dogg.